Thank you, Mr. Williams, and a pleasant good afternoon to all who are watching and listening via all the various means. Our National Emergency Operations Center's briefing for today. I want to focus on some comparisons of what is happening around the Caribbean region, and I want to highlight 4 specific countries in my presentation: Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. In Barbados, as we just heard, this is basically, you will see the dashboard here. Right, and this is what is happening in Barbados at the present moment. And as a result of this outbreak in Barbados, a number of control measures have been put in place in order to mitigate and reduce the rise of COVID-19 infections. So the Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mayor Motley, has decided that there will be a lockdown in Barbados. So effective Tuesday, 3rd of February, they will go into a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And in her words, this was indicative of her to control the spread, in particular when there was 3 deaths of elderly persons within the week. But equally so, they also identified that 3 cases of the new variant, of the UK variant, was identified in Barbados. So this has resulted in supermarkets being open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. from Mondays to Fridays, and then lockdown on the weekends. Businesses, including bars, restaurants, gyms, will be on lockdown. Banks will be open just for will be shutting down for 6 days, February 3rd to the 6th. It's important, I want to highlight this because we remember going through similar activities, and we should aim not to get back there. And it's very important. Let us take a look at Antigua and Barbuda. This is a graphic of the dashboard, and we see the cases, the active cases in Antigua and Barbuda. As I was preparing my presentation, one of my colleagues shared with me one of the control measures they have now implemented in Antigua and Barbuda. With immediate effect, all schools have been closed and moved to remote learning. And if you look at this slide, you will see what was the minute paper that was sent out in Antigua and Barbuda. I don't think we really want to go back there as a nation here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Let's take a look at St. Lucia. St. Lucia, the Honorable Alan Chasnet, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, has instituted a state of emergency, and they have returned to curfews. So effective the 3rd of February, St. Lucia will be going into curfews from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. Effective today, Wednesday the 3rd, for 7 days in the first instance. Why? With 757 active cases, it's difficult for St. Lucia to have this under control when they are moving pieces. Remember this, the virus does not move. People are the ones who are moving the virus. Let us take a look at St. Vincent. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, who are actually doing 5 days of quarantine in a government designated facilities and also 9 days at home. They now have gone to a significant outbreak with approximately 782 plus active cases and rising. What are we going to do here in St. Kitts and Nevis in order to mitigate something like this happening? And I will outline our mitigation strategy going forward. 1, strengthening the corridor of containment. What do I mean by that? From the time you arrive at the welcome center, the screening process at the health desk, immigration desk, the customs screening, and the dispatching and the outside for the ground transportation. Also, your arrival at the quarantine or vacation in place facilities. 2, we are going to increase the screening, surveillance, monitoring, and enforcement through the deployment of more human resource and equipment within strategic areas in the Federation. 3, increase in testing, the ability of having more laboratories coming on board to help with the testing capabilities. 4, amendment to the legislative framework for stricter penalties for those who breach the protocols. 5, an increase in public awareness campaign and compliance and the importance of vaccination. Remember, having the vaccine is one thing. If we do not take the vaccine and vaccinate the 70, 75, 80% of the population, then accessing the vaccines will be futile. So we want to encourage you, we want to educate you so that you can come on board and take the vaccine. 6, audit the government-approved quarantine and vacation-in-place sites. We want to make sure that periodically we audit these sites so that there is full compliance and ensure that these sites do not become an epicenter for any outbreak in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Again, I want to encourage you to continue with the non-pharmaceutical measures, social and physical distancing, wearing of the face mask, hygiene, and wearing your face mask is very important. I think we have reached a false sense of security in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and I am appealing to one and all to wear your mask. I want to thank you for listening, and please do your best to adhere to the protocols. We are here to work with you. Actually, today makes 1 year since we had our first press conference in 2020 regarding our preparedness and response for the novel coronavirus. We have done extremely well. However, we must continue this, and we can only continue it if you, the general public, as the major stakeholder, do your part. I want to thank Rebecca's Kitchen for the wonderful watermelon ginger. Am I correct, Vesta? Yes. Watermelon ginger and the nice cake she has provided us to boost our morale. Thank you, Rebecca's Kitchen, for doing so. Thank you, Mr. Williams.